Yeah, viewers all over the world. My name's Ogbuefi Ezeana, ugochitubelu Oraifite. I'm an ancient high priest. Abụ m onye isi nchụaja na ugochitubelu na temple. Anyị na-agba afọ gbaa afa miri emi lụkwazị ọrụ mmụọ dị iche iche. Abụkwazị m onye isi nchụaja na ọdịnala Restoration Evangelical Mission, bụrụ onye mgbasa ozi ọdịnala Igbo. So you can call me a priest or an evangelist, I will answer. My mission is to help people live better life. N'ụbọchị taa n'oge awa nke isiokwu anyị ji wee bịa bụ sacrilege in Igbo spirituality. I'm here to tell you the fact that now many families committed sacrilege to various altars in their families, and that is the problem. Some people do compare we Africans and Ndanya. Let me tell you, Africans are choosing people of God, and we are the pace setters. We are the ancients. That is why Africa is so blessed. We have the best of them all, the best weather, the best mineral resources, the best of everything. So I will explain to you in details in this lecture why you should understand that we Africans are favored. And it's only by the time we key in with the forces of nature that we'll be able to reap the fruits and blessings of the Most High. All this is what we are going to look into. Before we dive into today's lecture, don't forget that we are still in the month of May. Our monthly ritual is still ongoing. This morning I have gone to the temple to make declarations, sacrifices, and ritual upon the lives of those that join us all over the world. Remember, distance is not a barrier in all we do in the temple. Yes, I am actually the teacher. Listen though to our indifference of the temple, children of the temple, members of Ordinary Restoration Evangelical Mission and consecrated group. We keep doing this all through the month. Last day of the month, we will conclude the part, and only those that join us in this ritual will receive the concluding part. However, people have started booking for the month of June. You can still join us anywhere you are all over the world. If you are interested, what you have to do is to chat me on my WhatsApp number on your screen. For their 3 prayer requests, we place it in the altar. Then make token donation to support the rituals. Then we include their name. So my WhatsApp number is on your screen, 0805 7837672 or 08138243 Look on your screen, we see it. Now let's proceed. What I'm here to tell you is sacrilege against Igbo spirituality. Yes, likewise other African spirituality, because we are the same. Spirituality is one. I'm here to tell you as a child of Africa. Yes, I'm using Igbo spirituality as a yardstick. But however, take it down to your roots, your own custom, your own tradition. Make sure that your own culture, your family altars was never desecrated. Make sure that no sacrilegious acts was committed against any altar. Your ancestral altar. Because let me tell you, we are choosing people of God. We Africans, we are loved. We are like apple of the God's eyes. That is why Africa was blessed so much, and the other race are so ashamed. As in, they brought shame to us, and they feel like they are ashamed of us. But actually, in the opposite, they are envy. They are envying us. That's why they will say, Africa, we are not proud of Africa, this and that. But they keep on manipulating, taking our mineral resources from the other way around. But I can tell you, name any mineral deposit that is not in Africa. Every mineral deposit was found in Africa. If it's not in Nigeria, it's in Ghana, it's in other Cote d'Ivoire, it's in the Burkina Faso and the rest of them. So Africa is so blessed. That's why our competitors, the foreigners, they are so envious, they are so jealous of us, of our blessings. So what they normally do is to manipulate us, to make sure they put their storage, they put their person as a leader, so that they keep on colonizing us indirectly. But I can tell you, minus this problem we have in leadership, but it's self-made. Before the arrival of these manipulators in the name of colonizers, Africa had been in existence and Africa has been governing itself. So gịnị ka m na-ekwu maka ya? Ihe m na-ekwu maka ya bụ olugo oge anyị ndị Africa ga-aga wee activate ihe anyị ji ebube. There is something that made us stick because we are choosing people of God. Chukwu okike na-anụ onu anyị because na anyị ụmụ ya. Mgbe ọbụla anyị kpọkuru ọ na-aza anyị. Our ancestors are wise. They installed various altars in families. But the religious people, they came with their manipulative attitude. They manipulated our people, telling us to abandon our roots, telling us to abandon our way, the way we worship Chukwu, the way we connect ourselves to the entities of powers and supernatural beings. They castigated us, telling us we are not following the right path. They tried to superimpose their own way of worship upon us. And that is where we got it wrong. And many families destroy their family altars. What really actually made them tick. Let me tell you what the altar is all about. And why you should not, for any reason, destroy any altar. If you are not interested in your ancestral altar, please walk by. Just do as right. But whenever you commit any dastardly act, whenever you go there and commit any sacrilege, by destroying those family altars, you will be destroyed. That is the fact. All those families that desecrated their family altars are in shambles today. I can tell you for a fact. There are so many families that have conducted so many, always call it family liberation. They keep on bringing pastors upon pastors, acclaimed men of God upon men of God. Until today, their problems is still there. Let me tell you, our ancestors built those altars in covenant with supernatural forces. You don't see them. Name them. The entities of powers, supernatural beings, the beings from the primordials and from the realms and kingdoms. We call them various names. The Ndaka and Ndege. We call them the ancient. We call them Igbo. We call them Ndichie. We call them Ogugu, Amadioha, Udo. All those names we give them is the same thing with other races I have traveled to. But they called them different names with their own dialect. But it generally means the same thing. In Igbo spirituality, we recognize the feminine entities and masculine entities. Now, this feminine and masculine entities comes from 4 cardinal points from the sun, the air, the waters, and the land elements. Name them the sards, the salamanders, the gnomes, the elves, water sprites, and mermaids, and the rest of them. They are all many. But our ancestors entered into covenant with them for a reason. Do you know that there is these entities of powers that is in charge of fertility? In Igbo spirituality, we call it aquarium or bodo. There is these entities of powers that is in charge of going for war, protection. In Igbo spirituality, we call it Udo. We have entities of powers that is in charge of Omomo, bringing goodies of life, bringing good fortunes and the rest of them. All the Mugubu. Many families has where they install their own entities of powers for a purpose. They entered into those covenants with those entities of powers in good faith for a reason. There is this family that maybe there is always famine or call everything. They now call it, they install the goddess of charge of agriculture. In Igbo spirituality, we call it Ahajioku, the time we celebrate, or some people call it New Year Festival. So we have those, the gods, the ones that is in charge of so many things. Do you know that the ancient time, when a child is born, the child umbilical cord, we used to take it to our ancestral homes and bury them. You know why? Some we are bury them under plantain, some we bury them under uncle, and so many other things. It's for a purpose. You can know maka uncle Chukwu Emeka, uncle Ifeanyi, uncle Ebuka, and so on and so forth. So all those things we are doing is for a purpose. Our ancestors was inspired before they carried out those acts of erecting those altars. No matter how they might look before you might underlook them. No. Those altars, immediately those altars was installed, the spirits and the entities of powers making contact with that altar. So for any reason, it's a covenant. Whenever you desecrate any altar, you suffer, you pay for it. The Israelites, they make an altar when they wanted to be protecting them from their enemies. They make the act of covenant, Igbo or now that they will always live according to God's will, and God in return will protect them. That is something exactly what our forefathers did. They entered into agreement, into covenant with Chukwu and Omomo. We'll be doing this for us, and we'll be doing the other one in return. That is the covenant. Now that is what you came up as a child, or maybe as lack of understanding adult. You go there and destroy those things. When the Israelites committed that dastardly act, because of that, Chukwu abandoned them because they deserted the agreement entered in good faith. And that's what led for them to be taken to the land of Babylon. The Babylonians came and defeated them. And they went into punishment for years, donkey years. So some families are suffering today because of desecration. Yes, sacrilege they committed against those altars. Remember, our forefathers installed those altars in good faith, out of inspiration. There is a reason why your ancestors installed those altars. Either because of progress, either because of to curtail the untimely death, or to ensure that there is this multiplication, oba, and the act of your own ignorance, you destroy it. Once you destroy it, you have already been indebted, because you destroy the harmony that have been in existence in your family. Because those altars you are destroying, you don't even know why your great grandfathers installed those altars in the first place. Okay, in my place, I have Obi Ezundiche. Do you know the covenant I entered in peace with my ancestors? What they will be doing for us and what we will be doing for them in return. If for any reason, maybe any great grandchildren of mine wake up tomorrow and go and destroy it, they will destroy the child. The best thing is that if you are not interested, you don't want to be a partaker, you don't want to be receiving blessings that flows down from the mountain of blessings, the altar, do as right. So for you that went on and destroyed Obindiche, destroy your phone, and destroy all the family altars, how far? How many years have you did this? Maybe 5 or 10 years ago. Have you built all those things? Have you progressed? Those things that have been tormenting your family, have you succeeded? Most families are still in sufferness because of what they have committed. So I will advise you, if you are among those people that destroy those family altars, I will advise you to go and begin to do what we call appeasement and restitution. Restore those things back. Once you restore them, whatever the family have lost in the past will be restored. But if you refuse to restore those things, believe in me, you keep on wallowing in abject poverty and in mess. I'm a living witness. I remember when our family of 4 was desecrated, was destroyed, and family altars were destroyed. Yes, during my reign, I made it a point, a promise that I must restore them. And believe in me, since I restored the family of 4, since I restored the obedience, since I restored all the family altars, things are moving from point A to point B. I don't know what you are passing through, but I can tell you sometimes you'll be thinking that somebody is after you. It's because you abandoned the ancestral altars. In the spiritual realm, you are like orphan. You are like orphan. No spirit is behind you speaking for you. Can you show me where Jesus went after all the ancestral deities in the land of Israel during his reign? Show me a single place where he went after the ancestral deities. Don't you know that they have thousands of ancestral deities in the land of Israel? Never destroy those things. If he will bargain, even if you want to cast out demon, if you bargain, what will you give them and go away? But sometimes, what even your master, your Jesus you believe in cannot destroy, you, ordinary man, think that you can destroy it. You can't. You can't destroy the spirit because the spirit can never die. So whenever you go to their altar where those spirits was assembled and installed, and they secret everything, destroy their homes, they will be scattered. And for the fact that they are out there, there is no home again for them, no altar again for them, no shelter for them, under the scourge of sun and rain, that you will not have rest. Because as long as you have destroyed their own, they don't have peace of mind, they don't have rest again, they don't have shelter. You will not have shelter. It's as simple as ABCD. So I'm advising you, if your family is one of those family that committed this dastardly act, yes, of destroying all those sacred altars, I will help you if you are ready. Help you to do appeasement. Help you to do restoration where it's still possible. If it's not possible, we do modern agreement. Yes, in a way that is very favorable to everybody, and there will be peace, and peace will once restored back to your family. Let me stop here. If you have any question in today's lecture, you want us to do deep consultation for you, chat me on WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number remains 0805 7837672 or 0813-8243-871. Let us pray. Ekwem na Chineke. Ekwem na ọ dị ihe siri m ike. Ka Chineke na-apụghị isi m ụzọ m ga-esi n'uwe ya. N'ihi na ọ mazuru ihe niile. Obi m siri ike na Chineke emeworo m ya gazie. May the blessings of Chukwu pray be with you all. May you be protected, may you be blessed now and forevermore.